like to talk a lot. Uh, and today I want to talk about how to break negative thinking, cynical thinking, um, obsessive complaining in your head. I like the pick a card system because it's sort of three perspectives, and then the cards just lead the way forward. Because I could write 3 books about this subject, and it's different for everybody. So, card 1, card 2, card 3. I'll show them really up close, quick. Girl with spirits in forest. Second card is the cats, angry cats. And the third picture is this robot in the water shooting off some missile. Okay, the timestamps will be below in the description box. I'm gonna do a small introduction before. I have a lot to say about this, but I want to keep it short because I'm also really tired. And this could get a very complicated topic fast. The reason I want to do this is because I got really annoyed listening to some other pick a card videos where basically the advice is just think positive. And it just irritates me beyond belief because first they're reading your cards and seeing that you're sad or stuck in something or overthinking something negative, blah blah blah, and then they'll just say like, you gotta think positive, guys. You want to manifest your dream life, right? You gotta dream big and do your affirmations and live your best life. It's really, it doesn't help. Um, and I think it's different for general people who sometimes have some negative thoughts or have some bad patterns here and there. It could really work to sort of be more just snap out of it, and try to look at it a different way. My experience is different. I experienced for a long time depression in the early, and I only became aware of this in my early 20s, and I only became aware that I had chronic depression a lot longer, a little while after that, because you just don't, you wouldn't guess that all this time you've been sick and people act like you're normal. Like nothing in the world gives you the information that actually the way you are inside is really not okay, and that means that there's something going on and that you're not functioning right. You don't get that memo. But in that part of my life especially, negative thinking was a huge problem. But not just that, just sort of uncontrollable thoughts and voices and discussions in my head nonstop. It was really a war zone. It was worrying, complaining, panicking, despair, self-hate, jealousy, and all these other kinds of nice things nonstop. And I really, really, really came a long way to improve this, and I've seen wonders happen in my head, and I've gained a large sense of control. And the biggest improvement that really happened is not that I only think positive thoughts now, but that I understand my brain and the way I work a lot better, and the way I talk to myself and the way I sort of have learned to deal with the voices. That has improved immensely. So I have a sense of control, I have a sense of peace inside of me, and I have a way to tackle these problems. Doesn't make them any easier, but when you know you can, there is something that you can do, and you feel like you have a bit of control. It's a big difference than when you're constantly a slave to your own stream of shit. And the point is, just saying think more happy thoughts, think more positively, never worked. Never worked. And it makes you feel worse because now you know you're doing something wrong and you could be doing it better. And the implication was always that you choose your thoughts, which is not the case. Um, I I don't want to go too deep into this, but you really have to understand what your brain is. Okay, your feelings come from a deeper place. Your emotional brain is older than the part of your brain that you use to think words. If you're thinking words inside your head, that's not you. That's already a translation. This computer translates. If think about it, when you're thinking in words, and if you speak English, you think English words in your head. You learned those words, and you're using that system of symbolism in your head. But there's a deeper level under that that is you. So when we feel sad and thoughts come, say, I am sad and this upsets me and this is bad, you're already one level away from this original feeling. You're translating. And the problem is, or the general idea seems to be that we are our rational brain, and that feelings and thoughts and all these other things can be rationalized away. And it's complete BS. It just does not work that way. And from personal experience, I can tell you, you can think into circles. Okay, I could start by believing one thing, and then I could think in a circle, and at the end believe the other thing. And then where do you stand? Because your logic, I can prove that it's true, and I can prove that it's not true. Because there's different perspectives. And to help yourself the most, you have to start only looking at your perspective. And that's different than general logic, or than the general reasoning for something. Way too complicated here. Biggest part is you are not your thoughts. And these thoughts, these things that come into your head, they are on automatic a lot of the time. They are reflexmatic. Because luckily our brain, we don't see our brain thinking about the translations, because that would take a lot of time and it would be very annoying. So our brain is very smart, and it just has learned these shortcuts. Like, you feel this, that, then you get these words in your head. Things you learn in childhood, things you picked up later. So these are already reflexes. And what the main goal in the beginning always is to become aware of what is happening. Just becoming aware of you thinking negatively is a big step. Okay, just noticing all the time, wow, I'm negative, wow, there I go again being angry. That's already a huge step. And you don't only have to notice that it happens, then you have to start, when does it happen? What is it trying to do? Because you have to understand that the computer, it is trying to do something. It is trying to do something with these thoughts, okay? It's not just annoying you or assaulting you, or it's not just there because your brain just works badly, or you have this bad part that just says these things and you have to ignore it. No, that's a very bad way of looking at it. It's a part of you, and you really have to look at it as if it was a person saying these things to you, okay? You wouldn't tell a person just like, no, you're negative, I want to be positive, go away. There are people who do that, but not in this in your face kind of way. No, the real response is, I see that you're having a hard time, help me understand why. And that's what you have to start doing with yourself. So if you notice that you're thinking suddenly a lot of panicky thoughts, or you're suddenly very enraged about everything, really have that talk with yourself. What is going on? What is going on, buddy? Like, why are you giving me these messages? Okay? Complaining, it's a message. It's a message, and it's trying to do something. And you understanding why and what it's trying to do and how it's trying to do this will help you get a handle on things. but you have to understand it. There is no such thing as just starting positive thoughts and training this, okay? This can help only if you already are very aware of patterns, and you, like, let's say it's a negative thought you see every time you see a certain person or get triggered by something. You always think the same thought. After a while you can say to yourself, like, nope, there we go again. I want to try to associate something else this time. But then again, if every time you keep thinking the same negative thought, that means that you haven't understood yet why. Okay, you're still trying to get something, or you would stop. Okay, there's always a reason. Always. Always, always, always. A big part of negative thinking patterns, it is you learn it. So a lot of it is automatic. Okay? A lot of it is sort of a cynical way of looking at the world, a sort of way you handle disappointment to protect yourself. It's something you learned, and it's very automatic. But another part of it is just you not understanding what you're telling yourself. And that happens because the thoughts we're thinking, usually we're just using old programs, things we picked up when we were young. That's why writing, talking out loud is so important, because the moment you write something or say it out loud, then finally for the first time you can hear it and maybe see that it's not correct. For instance, so like, I have a bad day, I feel very bad, and in my brain it goes like, everything is shit, everything sucks, everything is bad. In your brain it goes so fast, and you're usually like trying to cover up these thoughts, but when you say that out loud, take it seriously, say it out loud, everything is bad. Instinctively you sort of hear that that's not true, that's very black and white. But it's still trying to give you a message. I feel bad. Okay? And yes, it's being over theatrical and dramatical by the world is bad, everything is bad, everything is ruins, it's never gonna be better again. It's a bit of drama. But you have to hear to the message. I feel bad. And I'm not happy. Because if you're not gonna listen to that message, then you're keeping yourself in a position where you're unhappy. So why would you not complain? Right? Okay, so seeing that you have this problem, noticing it, taking stock of the thoughts, like just saying, oh, there I go again, thinking bad thoughts, that's a step. Okay, so be happy with these things. Don't be so hard on yourself when you're learning this. Okay, I think the people that are here and listening to this, you're already aware of that you have this problem. Otherwise, you wouldn't be looking for a solution. Okay, so give yourself credit for that. The fact that you're already tackling it, you're already handling it, you're already better than you were a couple of months ago. Okay, you can't deny that. Just by becoming aware of this will help you improve. The advice I would give my patients often is just say out loud, I want to get better. Not I want to get all these goals that I have in mind that I think that I need to have a happy life. No, just general. I want to get better. I want to get happy. If you put that intention out for yourself, already you're subconsciously, these things are starting, okay? So give yourself credit for just taking those first steps and for just starting to become aware and conscious with this problem. Another really quick tip I want to give you, because it is very relevant to handle yourself and other people. It's a weird thing that happens. Let's say your best friend comes over and she is crying or upset or something bad happened, and you're listening. You would think that because you're sitting there listening, you're seeing them cry, you would think that it's obvious that the message is, I see you, I see your pain, I see that's a problem. But it's not obvious at all. And actually saying, I see you're sad, I see you're having a hard time, is an important first step, because you're actually saying to the other person, I see your problem and I acknowledge it. And in a way, you're sort of saying, in a similar situation, I would also feel bad. And you have no idea how important this is to give people the signal that their emotions are okay, that their emotions are normal. You're upset, you're sad, I would be too, I think. It's hard to imagine, but it sounds very upsetting. This first step of just saying that is so important. And I used to think like, well, you can say that with body language, or some people will know. But I learned this with working with patients, and I had this problem a lot, or a lot of in the healthcare industry see this problem where you get somebody and they start complaining, explaining their problem or saying how bad things are, and the more you want to give solutions, you want to sort of work with this, but they resist it, and they start giving more details of how bad it is and more examples. And I really learned that the solution to this is just saying, wow, I see you're having a very bad time. It must be very hard for you. Even when I said it with no feeling, really deadpan delivery, it still worked. Like somebody was complaining, I was like, wow, you are having a very bad day. And they stopped. Because that's all they actually, that's the biggest part of somebody who comes for comfort is, only thing you have to do is say, wow, I see you're having a hard time. That must suck. That's actually all you have to do. They don't want a solution. They don't want you to carry them. They don't want you to make them feel better. Really, just all you have to do is say, I see you're having a bad time, or I see you're very sad. Like, it must be difficult. That's all. That's all. And then you can sort of start coming out of it, because then this person will let it go. If they keep getting the message, it's not really understood, my pain is not really seen, it will be hard, very hard to sort of get over it. Because then you get the feeling that it's not taken seriously. You should test this out when you're having these situations and you feel like people are nagging or constantly complaining. Try to give this back to them. Sort of say like, wow, you're complaining a lot. You're having a hard time, I hear. And it's really interesting how they react, because suddenly it stops and you're talking in deeper about something, or they change because okay, they know I'm having a bad time, and then they also feel that it's useless to keep pushing it on. Okay, but it's about not being heard. Same with the message in your head. If it keeps going on, you're not listening to the message. Okay, that's my short to very long introduction. Okay, let's start with the cards. Let's start with card number 1 here. Show it a bit closer again. Ooh. This half centaur lady with these other spirits or animals around. For me, this card means transformation. Like, you can see it as she's halfway transforming from human to her animal aspect. And I see this as sort of you're coming home. You're coming home to your people. That's how I see the card. Okay, you see that? And then I'm gonna pull out a couple of tarot cards, see what happens. I'm using the Wild Unknown deck. I don't use that much, so I'm sorry if this is a bit of a weird read. I usually just go on the pictures if I forget the meanings of the cards. There we go. Okay, we have the Moon in reversed. There. And we have the Mother of Swords, or the Queen of Swords. We have the reversed Three of Swords. And what else? Come on, baby. One more. And there goes everything. Ooh. And Two of Cups. Okay. Card up. Okay. Let me install myself a bit better here. Ooh. Yeah, we'll do it this way. So let's start with these two cards. The Moon in reversed and the Mother of Swords. Okay. So this could be about coming out of illusions. This is about being sharp and perceptive, but at the same time you're sort of open. I see always the Queen of Swords or the Mother of Swords, like she has her blade is ready. She'll fight if she has to, but she is in a neutral position. Okay, she's looking at the situation objectively. She doesn't know how she wants to react yet, but she's calm in this. She knows that she can react if she has to, but she's not in an aggressive stance, and she's mostly looking at the situation, overlooking it. The Three of Swords, most typical card about pain and heartbreak. Normally when it's upright, it also sort of means like coming out of it a bit. Reverse, I see it as it's like it's over. You've experienced it, but it's not here anymore. And then the Two of Cups, this card could be about coming together, about a relationship with the beautiful roses here. But oftentimes this card here with the cross, it means a choice or two different paths. I always see it, or as working together with somebody, like having a bit of I see it as a choice, like as sort of an emotional conflict, a crossroads. So everything put together. Okay. I can see a story, but I'm trying to see how this ties into our theme here, the overthinking and the cynical thinking. What I'm getting is that you are changing. You're coming out of this illusion period. Maybe secrets came out, maybe you're just wiser. You're seeing through some things now. And you're learning. You have a lot of new information. And this card, I think, is also telling you to remember that you have a lot of new information and you're stronger, you're wiser, you have a bigger perspective. And you've grown. I'm getting here. This is in the past, okay? Like I'm maybe here. You are sort of still looking back at things that went wrong or things that you lost or that didn't turn out the way you wanted them to. But it's in the past, and you've learned from it. So it's maybe asking you to sort of let this go and let those secrets go that were there, or the illusion, or being kept in the dark, and grow. Like you are growing. You have learned. It's time to leave this in the past and take the things you've learned from this forward. Okay, so maybe try to notice when you're just going back to these subjects that you maybe had in the past, or when it happens when you feel like, damn it, now again suddenly I'm thinking about my ex nonstop. It has a reason. Okay, there's a reason that suddenly you're becoming obsessive about a certain somebody again, even though actually you know you don't want to be together with that person, or that you're glad it's over. But for me, it usually happens when other things go wrong and I feel very weak. Suddenly, all things where I used to hope that would make me feel strong would come back. Like, and also like I would suddenly think about all rejections again, really strongly. Um, and really like taking the step every time to sort of analyze, why now? Why am I now suddenly obsessing about this problem that I had so a long time ago? It works. It's just you need to find the answer. Why is it coming up now? What does this mean to you? What does this represent to you? What is your brain trying to tell you? The Two of Cups. I'm getting here that to focus on new relationship, or yeah. Hmm. This could also mean sharing your experiences, talking about it, opening up, um, showing the other person or somebody you're close to that you're having a hard time, maybe. Um, or this could also mean that this card could also ask you if you are taking care of yourself enough, or is there are you splitting your energy or your emotions elsewhere. Um, yeah, damn, I'm not getting anything else. This card just feels blank for me. Two flowers cross. No, okay. It ties in for me with these. It's just you are on a crossroads. You are changing, and that's hard. Changing is hard, and changing. And this somebody once told it to me, and it really applies. Like when you're on a train and you're switching tracks, the first, like you switch the tracks and you're going in a different direction. Let's say they go out like this, but for a while you're still gonna see that old track. And it's the same with us when we're when you're taking a new direction, when we are decided to let go of all things or we want to change. Then for a little while, our old patterns, our old behaviors, our old way of thinking, our old reflexes, they're still there, because you're still learning new ones, and it takes a while for your brain or your body to sort of hook onto it and say like, okay, this is the new way we're doing things now. So don't underestimate the time that it takes to transition into another behavior. Okay, in the beginning it's usually a slow process, and then it goes a little bit faster, and then at the end the old habits that die hard, those usually take more time, because they usually have very deep emotional roots, and just become habits. Like, and unless you see that it's a bad way of reacting and that there possibly is a better way, usually you will use the same reaction. So this is about change. You're changing, new direction, letting go of old things. Look at this owl, man. She knows. She's not naive anymore. And she knows where she's going and why. Okay. Change takes time, and grieving takes time, and it's sometimes hard when you're letting go of negative things or you're exiting a very bad period in your life, and not new things are not presenting themselves yet. It is a bit hard. Like, let's not focus on that shit in the past, but you have nothing to focus on right now, and that can be annoying. So get creative with that. And at the same time, keep talking to yourself. Okay, if old patterns come up, be nice, because there's no point pushing it away. You have to talk to it. You have to say, like, okay, there we are again, buddy. Like, can I help you? And after a while, when you're getting better at this, it's just short, like, okay, thank you, message received. I'm gonna choose to not focus on that. Okay, and if it then keeps coming back, then you have to go, oh, maybe I didn't receive the message. Maybe there's another message. Okay, it always has a reason. Talking to it helps. Getting behind the feeling of it helps, and being kind to yourself takes time. Change is difficult, and you're doing your best. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Group 2. The angry cats. This is how it used to be in my head. Like, just cats going at it all the time. All right. I don't think I have to say much about this card. I think we can all, I can all see some negative thinking, some hostility there. A lot of tension, a lot of built up tension, like just completely going crazy, nuts. With the cards, there are cards. All right, 4 cards. 4. Put them like this and hold them up, it's easier. Okay. Good. So we have the Wildcats. The first card is the 9 of Cups. I'm counting them, so I'm sure, 9 of Cups. Harmony, serenity. It's a good card. It's usually about celebration, about being satisfied. Harmony. Second card is the 5 of Wands. That's conflict, or seeing things a different way. Like the 5 sticks are sort of all looking a different direction. They all have different ideas. Then we have the Star card. It's a really good card. Nice for you. And we have the Son of Cups. It's also a really nice card. Okay, Knight of Cups. Emotional guy. Okay. I'm surprised with these cards, actually, with the cats, because I'm not seeing the connection yet. Okay, yeah, I do. Okay. I think this is talking about your inner critic. Okay? Think like you have an idea, you have a plan, you feel good about something, and then these guys come up. Your inner critic. All right? And it goes, and they're this intense. Like, before you even got excited about something, they're there. They're like, no, it's impossible. No, everybody wants that, so why do you think you can get it? You'll see, it'll go bad again. You're not that good in this, or I can see this go wrong already. And look how angry he is. It's like, no, bad idea. You suck. It's flipping the cards back off the table. I think it's your inner critic. These are just these voices that come to talk you down. Ties into these 5 of Wands. I think it's just sort of the different energies, and I think it is inside yourself. You may have an idea, like, oh, maybe I can do this profession or go do this hobby. Then I'll feel better, or that'll make me a little bit more satisfied. And then immediately other ideas come up to oppose these. So like, oh no, you're gonna waste your time in that again. You're gonna see it's just gonna feel bad. You should better do this. Or what are you thinking about? We still haven't, like, we still have to put time in this. Like, why are you switching hobbies? You know, this is, you're just running away from the problem. Just all these different ways of looking at it, and you're stuck trying to, like, because when these are in full effect, and especially things when you're insecure, it really blows your compass. Like suddenly you don't know if it's right. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. It makes you feel bad, and you feel discouraged. And every time you do that, let's say you have a passion. Let's say you have a life goal, and every time you try to work on that and you shoot it down, you're sort of training yourself to not do it, because every time you're telling yourself and the cells in your body, and you're training yourself to say like, I can't do that. So becoming aware of these inner critics is a big deal. But for me, what I've noticed is this is difficult because they come at you. They know what buttons to push. Okay, and sometimes it takes a while to realize, oh fuck, I talked myself down again there, or I was just afraid there, and let it get the best of me. It can take weeks sometimes before I realize that I just like was too critical on myself and made things a lot harder or a lot more difficult than they had to be. This Nine of Cups talks about satisfaction, about serenity, peace, happy times. Okay. So I think in this group, actually, sort of, you're in a better time right now. I think you've crossed some bridges. You've had some battles, but actually things are looking around. You're sort of in calmer waters again. And you're trying to maybe make a new start, trying to get something off the ground, or sort of looking, where does my passion lie? What do I want to do now? Something in this aspect. And then this critic comes. Okay, so you maybe right now, because of insecurities, because of a lot of changes, or sort of starting new things, it gets the better of you, because, and this is often what happens when we start pursuing the passions we really want to do. That's frightening. Failing for something that you don't really care that much about is not a big deal. Failing for something that you kind of hope deep down inside will be your dream, that's scary. That's scary, taking those steps. Especially if you're making a radical change in something, or you're really starting something new, you can get down on yourself very fast. And these guys have been around for a long time, okay? And they know what buttons to push. And again, really, don't shoot these cats, okay? Because they'll go crazier, okay? What you need to do is figure out why are they so aggressive. Because again, they're not trying to make your life worse. They're not trying to harass you. They're not just there because it's a bad part of you. They're trying to protect you and trying to help you. You put them there. You put that part in your brain that does this to you, okay? And it has a reason. And every time you sort of have to sort of talk to them, like, why do you think this way? Why are you saying this? What are you trying to protect me from? And then maybe you can get more of a clear vision again of the way forward. Because I just had this can stop you in your tracks every time. It's a bad feeling, because then suddenly you're going from being excited and having a new outlook on life to being depressed and feeling like maybe you were wrong about everything, and what are you doing? And it can be a really big battle in your head. especially when you're trying to do something that goes a bit into the grain of what most people would do or is not expected, because maybe other people's opinions here are also affecting you a lot. Like, you want to make a decision in a direction, but people are shooting it down, or you sort of know how people will think about it, and this bothers you. Okay, but now, better cards. You're a star. You're a star. That's basically it. I want to focus more on this card because I really like this card. This is an emotional guy, okay? He's had a lot of pain. As this is Black Cup. He's had a lot of pain. But this card always means that, or is saying, from this pain, he's gonna make something nice. Something new will be born. Out of this, the bad period you come out of, you're gonna make something out of that. Okay? Something beautiful is gonna come out of all that pain and heartache you had, and all that time wasted. It's not wasted. Okay? And don't despair. Don't, if you feel super bad or your ideas are getting shut down or you lost direction, you're not feeling it anymore for a little bit, it's okay. This is cooking. It's all part of it. Okay? Trust me. The idea that's gonna get you there is not the idea you have right now. Taking little steps forward could help you get more clarity about this. The star is about hope. Being a star, looking at the stars. Remembering you're a star. Okay? After a period of heartache and difficult things, and you're not feeling the best, okay? It takes a lot of energy out of you. You have to grieve, you have to realign with yourself, you have to find yourself again, and all of this can make you feel confused, like you don't know what you want anymore, like you don't know where you're going, and you feel insecure or just a bit lost. And I think this card is trying to get you to see again that we came here for a reason. You're dreaming this for a reason. There's no looking back. This is what you're going for. This is who you are. And you can hide it all you want and you can deny it, but this is who you are and this is what you want to do. And just try to see that you're still gonna go for this anyway. Okay? So might as well get behind it now. Okay, that's what I felt to say about this group. I think this is really about not being too hard on yourself, not being the inner critic, or not listening too much to other people's sort of negativity or attacks. That don't let it get you down like that. But take, okay, if somebody, you have an idea and somebody gives a lot of bad comments about it, and it makes you feel bad, and suddenly you're doubting, oh, maybe it's not a good idea. Be logical, okay? If somebody makes you doubt about an idea, maybe it's really good that he makes you doubt about it. Go back to the idea, say, is he right? These problems that he mentioned, can I fix them? How can I prepare myself for this? Does this change the outcome I was hoping for? Does this change the approach? How, you know what you want, okay? Maybe you have to adjust the way to that. Maybe you have to try a couple different routes before you know what you want, okay? If something makes you feel sad, or you get this inner critic that makes you feel down and suddenly all discouraged, Go into it. Why does this come up? Why is this making me feel bad? Where is it coming from? Why is it coming now? And is it right? Is that the right feeling, or is this just a fear? And keep being logical about it. Don't just let it get you down, because that's what it wants. That you just feel sad and disheartened and go mope around. No, you have to say like, oh right, maybe you have a point. Or this could just be your fears coming up. Like let's say you're going on a stage or something, and you're really nervous about this. As again, it will benefit you so much more of looking at it. If you have a fear of this, looking at the fear, saying it out loud, admitting it, and then saying, okay, what am I going to do about it, is so much more powerful than letting it paralyze you or ignoring it, hoping it won't be a problem. Because that's how it becomes a problem. That's self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay? Ignoring a bad thought or ignoring a bad thing in your brain makes it worse. And it's surprising how fast this goes. You will think one small thing and immediately have this sort of counter reaction that's like, but obviously that's bad, or obviously that won't work, or that's obviously not a good thought to think. And our first reactions, our first instincts get buried under these auto reactions. And it's surprising how often we don't look at it when we sort of just we'll hear our reaction and like already a modified version of our first reaction. And that's very frustrating because the original message never gets heard and you never ever take it seriously, not even for 1 second, because it's obviously bad, right? Really have to notice when you're doing this, when you're like stepping over a thought or a reflex. Everything is important. Everything matters. Everything has a reason. Okay, thank you, group 2. On to group 3. The robot. Okay. If you know the star card from the Santa Muerte, this really reminds me of it because she's also half in water, standing with her feet in water. And in that case, it sort of means that out of all this, out of the pain, out of the emotions, a star is born. But here it's a robot. He's shooting, or it's hard to see if he's been shot or... No, I think he's been shot. He looks like a friendly robot. I think he's a good guy. Cool, let's get 4 cards. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what do we got? Okay. First card is justice. Oop, got cats again. This justice is about this, especially here. It's about balance. And look how they're both looking at you. Could be a choice. They're sort of waiting for you to make a verdict or a choice or decide on something. But with these, it's more like they're watching for you, like, what do you think? What do you want? What do you feel about? How do you feel about it? Then we have the lovers. It's also about choice. The lovers could be about a romantic relationship, but this card is it means a choice. It means getting aligned with what you believe, what you want, how you think it should be, and making a decision. In that way, it could be romantic, because in a sense, like, you're choosing for a partner. And I love that the Lover's card is sort of, it takes it very seriously. And then we have the 6 of Wands in reversed. Okay, normally it's like this. The butterfly coming out of the misery, the end of the ordeal. Clarity, it's reversed. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. I think Three of Pentacles, teamwork, working together, um, getting over the mountain, climbing the mountain. Okay. So let's see here in the context. Damn it, how are these cards not? There. Two cards that talk about a choice. Could see this as a battle. Six of Wands reversed. This could mean to look around you, you're not in this alone, and you don't have to go at it alone. And I'm kind of seeing here right now is that help is coming. Someone else can give you clarity, or from the something useful information could be coming in here, or to make it easier for you. Or you are resisting this. Maybe you keep staying in this Five of Wands energy, you know, where the Five of Wands is there's an idea, and then there's four other ideas all pointing in a different direction. It's sort of not, it's a bit of a discussion, differences of opinion, or not knowing the way forward. And normally Six of Wands is sort of reaching a solution and getting out of the mess. And I think you're stuck in this Five of Wands energy where you're not making a decision. And you're sort of, they're waiting. They're waiting. And here I think it means work together. You don't have to do it alone. Ask for help. You're climbing a mountain, okay? It's hard work and it takes some time. And maybe you're sort of overwhelmed with how you're going to cross this mountain, and that's why you sort of can't decide on a way forward. And I think this is just saying, make a choice. There's no right or wrong choice, okay? The choice you will make will be for you the right choice, okay? Just take the pressure off. Everybody always tries to make the best decision with the information they have, okay? There is no right or wrong way. There is no one way that will get you the gold and all the other, or there's no one terrible way that will mess up your life. Take what you think is the best way forward and stick to that. Also, like, yeah, I'm really getting sort of ask help, or look around you, see what people are maybe doing the same, and you don't have to solve this alone. Okay, you don't have to solve this alone. And maybe these two cats, because it's also about balance. I think I'm reading here also you're overthinking it. You are having a million ideas, you're thinking a lot, but you're not taking action. So your brain is going into overload and you're getting depressed because of it. It's, yeah, all this excitement and passion, and then a lot of nothing. So take action. Try something. Make a decision. See where it goes, okay? You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to make a decision, see that it's not the right decision, and change, okay? You're allowed all these things, but make a decision, give it a good chance, see where it leads you. And really, like, just make a step forward, and after that, you're gonna feel a lot better about it. Because small example, but with making the YouTube videos, I had the same problem where I just stuck in this non-action mode, and then I made one video. I just recorded one video and I posted it, and that sort of, the ice was broken, and suddenly I'm suddenly I have something to work with. And you have to go, like, you took a step, so you want to keep going forward. There's a momentum that's building, okay. And suddenly you're a lot more clear about, that's where I was going, right, and this is fun, okay, like, yeah, and okay, now I know, now we can do it this way, and I didn't know that would be such a big problem, but um, now you know, okay. But standing there, deciding, looking around, overthinking things is not working. Take action, step forward, okay. It's the same, like maybe the robot. um, Look at him, he's standing in the middle of a battlefield, half in the ocean. He needs to move. He needs to make a decision, okay? Is he gonna fly up and do something? Is he gonna go underwater? Is he gonna counterattack? Is he gonna run? But just standing there, it's not a good move, okay? So, take a decision and try. You don't have to, it's not gonna come down to this one decision. It never does. Okay, that's Hollywood stuff, where this one decision changed the entire, my entire life. And if I hadn't done that, my life could have been completely different. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. No, your life would have been completely the same. For this decision, really go back to why. Why do I want to do this? Why am I doing this? Why am I in this position? What do I want? And stop worrying about what could go wrong. If this is a good position to be in, if you should have done things differently, if you're unsure of what you want, no, just move. Just take a chance, move, try something, and you'll feel a lot better. And also the voices will quiet down, because right now it's just, because you stuck in this, you have 5 or 6 different voices trying to do their best for you to get you to make a decision. But the more you wait, the more these voices will become like tired, and they'll become more aggressive, because you need to make a move. Because on a deeper level, there's this clock ticking, and in the deeper level, you know that if this or this doesn't work, then in X amount of time, I could run into a lot of problems. You're calculating this, okay? So it's normal that if you stand frozen for a while, or you're unsure of where you're gonna go or how you're gonna handle this, that this anxiety builds. And that's normal. If I was in charge of, let's say, the food for 100 people, and I noticed that the rations are lessening, and I can also see that these 100 people are really not making any progress on how they're gonna get more food, then I'm gonna start making noise. And I'm gonna start becoming very annoying. Like, look, guys, I see you trying, but what is the plan? What is the plan? Come on, we need to have a plan now. And that's an annoying guy to be, but it's reasonable, because you want him there to be in charge of the food, and that your survival. So if this anxiety builds, really see it as this is normal. This is normal. This is my alarm systems coming up and telling me, like, look, dude, do you know you're heading for imminent danger? Maybe we should do something about it. Yep. Just make a decision. Don't do it alone. Oop. There are different ways of climbing a mountain, and they all lead up. I just made that up, and it sounds so cool. So, that was it for group 3, and we're almost to an hour. So I wish you all a very nice day, and a lot of strength and I want to say good luck. It makes no sense. I wish you all a lot of courage and strength, tackling the voices in your head, and be kind to yourselves. It really, really helps. Okay. Bye, YouTube.